So, we've talked a lot about why localizing your corporate training is so important, but that's the theory. The big question is, how do you actually do it? Well, today we're moving from theory to practice. We're building a real-world playbook you can use to get it right. Right, so just to set the stage, this is part 3 of our 5-part deep dive into a really extensive report from Virtualization Options LLC. We've covered the why, and now it's time for the how. We're digging right into Chapter 3 of that report to give you a practical guide to strategy and best practices. Here's our roadmap for today. We're going to talk about making that big shift from why to how. Then we'll walk through 3 super concrete steps: getting your team together, doing a cultural audit, and budgeting for real impact. And at the end, we'll pull it all together into a simple blueprint you can take with you. You know, moving from knowing you have a problem to knowing how to solve it, that's often the hardest part of any project. This is where we build that bridge from understanding to action. So you're bought in. You get it. You've seen the data. You understand the ROI. The question isn't if anymore, it's how. But where on earth do you even start? What's the very first move? Well, that's exactly what we're going to lay out. Okay, step 1, and the report could not be clearer on this point. Before you even think about touching a single slide or script, you have to get the right people in the room. This is not a job for some centralized team working in a vacuum. Success, it turns out, starts with your team. And here it is, your first big action item. The source tells us to identify cultural liaisons in every single region you're targeting. And these folks aren't just contacts. They're your essential partners, your guides on the ground who will help you navigate the entire cultural landscape. Now listen, the report lays out 2 qualifications for these liaisons that are absolutely non-negotiable. You need both. First, they need cultural authority. They have to be genuine insiders who really get the local nuances. And second, they need organizational authority. They gotta have the respect and the standing in the company to actually make decisions. Because think about it, one without the other is a recipe for disaster. You either get great ideas that go nowhere, or you get corporate orders that are completely tone deaf. Okay, so you've got your team of liaisons assembled. Now you're ready for the second foundational step. This is your intelligence gathering phase. You have to listen before you can build. You know, the goal of a cultural audit is actually really simple. It's about replacing your assumptions with real data. You're trying to uncover those hidden expectations, those cultural sensitivities, and those unique learning preferences that will either make or break your training program. So how do you do it? Well, the source material recommends 2 main tools for your audit. You've got structured surveys, which are great for getting the quantitative what. And then you have focus groups, which give you that rich, qualitative why behind the numbers. Using both gives you the complete picture you need to make smart choices. All right, so you've got the right team, and you've got the right data from your audit. The next critical piece of the puzzle is, of course, the budget. A brilliant strategy with the wrong budget is, well, it's just a strategy that's destined to fail. And that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? You've got a finite amount of money for localization, so where do you put it to get the biggest bang for your buck? Do you pour it all into fancy translation software, project managers, or is it something else entirely? Luckily, we don't have to guess. The report points to a really solid data-backed framework, the ATD 55-30-15 budget allocation model. This is based on research into what the best-performing global learning and development departments actually do. So let's break down where the smart money goes. Now look at this, because this might be the most important takeaway. A whopping 55% of the budget, the biggest chunk by far, doesn't go to technology. It goes to content adaptation. This is the hard, human-led work of rewriting scenarios, swapping out images, and totally redesigning activities so they feel real and authentic. The report is crystal clear. This is the highest value work you can do. And the report has a really stark warning for anyone who gets this backwards. I'm going to quote it directly. Organizations that invert this allocation consistently produce technically smooth but culturally shallow training experiences. In other words, your training will run perfectly, and it will fail completely. So let's pull all this together. Let's distill everything we've covered from the report into a simple, repeatable blueprint that you can actually use. It really boils down to these 3 core steps. First, find your liaisons, those key people with both cultural and company clout. Second, do your homework and conduct a cultural audit. Listen to your learners before you create anything. And third, follow the money. Use that 55-30-15 model and invest heavily in deep, meaningful content adaptation. And that really leaves us with one final thought.
As you look at how your own organization does things, you have to ask this question. Is our training budget actually designed for real global impact by putting culture first, or is it just getting lost in a technically perfect but culturally empty translation? The answer to that question makes all the difference.